Imagine a woman in a rural community. She's managing a chronic condition, or perhaps she needs a confidential consultation about her reproductive health. A few years ago, her only option might have been a long, expensive, and sometimes impossible journey to a clinic. Today, we have a powerful tool that can bring that clinic to her: Telehealth. It promises a revolution, a way to dismantle long-standing barriers and finally deliver on the global promises of health and well-being for all, gender equality, and innovation, the very heart of the Sustainable Development Goals 3, 5, and 9. But is this promise being kept? Or are we, in our rush to innovate, risk creating a new digital frontier that mirrors and even deepens the very inequalities we seek to cure? Our research set out to answer this pressing question. What we found is a critical paradox. Telehealth is not just a technological upgrade, it is a socio-political innovation. And if we fail to design it with justice and equity at its core, we risk building a future where the digital divide becomes a health divide. Today, I will walk you through the 3 key insights from my systematic review of the literature. First, the ethical minefield that threatens women's safety and autonomy. Second, the persistent access barriers that lock out the most vulnerable. And finally, the path forward, how we can align telehealth with the SDGs to create a future that is truly inclusive. My review uncovered 3 major concerns. First, privacy and confidentiality. For many women, particularly those seeking care for intimate partner violence or reproductive health, privacy isn't a preference, it's a matter of safety. Yet many telehealth platforms have weak data governance. The risk of a data breach or a family member overhearing a consultation can deter women from seeking the care they need altogether. Second, informed consent. How do we ensure a woman fully understands the risks and limitations of a remote consultation? In a virtual setting, the process is often reduced to clicking a checkbox. For women with low digital or health literacy, this is not true consent. It's a ticking box on a screen they may not fully trust or understand. Third, and perhaps most fundamentally, autonomy. Feminist bioethics teaches us that autonomy is not just about individual choice, it's about agency within a social context. Telehealth can be undermined by gendered power dynamics, where a woman's use of a device is monitored or her time is not her own. This doesn't empower her, it can further erode her control over her own health. Without addressing these ethical foundations, telehealth doesn't just fail to help, it can actively cause harm. Now, let's talk about access. Because even if we solve the ethical puzzles, what good is a door if most people can't reach the handle? The digital divide. This starts with the most basic issues. No reliable internet, no smartphone, or no money for data. This immediately excludes women in rural and low-income communities. Digital health literacy. Having a device isn't enough. Does she know how to download an app, navigate a portal, or describe her symptoms effectively through a screen? Sociocultural norms. In many settings, patriarchal norms mean a woman's phone use is surveilled by male family members. Stigma around issues like mental health or sexual wellness prevents her from seeking care, even privately. The brutal truth is this: a one-size-fits-all telehealth strategy doesn't bridge gaps. It builds moats. It conveniently serves those who are already connected and literate, while leaving behind the women who need care the most. So, where do we go from here? Is the situation hopeless? Absolutely not. But it requires a radical shift in our approach. We must stop seeing telehealth as merely a piece of software and start treating it as a justice-centered project, explicitly aligned with the SDGs. Here is our 4-point roadmap for action. 1. Build ethical guardrails from the start. We need strong, gender-sensitive data protection laws and transparent, accessible, informed consent processes. Policy coherence across regions is not a bureaucratic nicety. It's a prerequisite for safety and equity. 2. Invest in infrastructure and literacy. We must target investment in broadband and devices for underserved communities. But equally, we must invest in the women themselves through culturally sensitive digital literacy programs that build confidence and skills. 3. Co-design with women, for women. We cannot design for marginalized women. We must design with them. Participatory design, grounded in feminist bioethics, ensures that platforms are usable, relevant, and truly empowering. 4. Measure what matters with SDG-aligned metrics. We must move beyond simply counting how many consultations we've delivered. We need to integrate specific metrics for health outcomes, SDG 3, gender empowerment, SDG 5, and inclusive innovation, SDG 9. We must conduct regular equity audits to ask, who is being left behind? In conclusion, the message from our research is clear. Telehealth holds immense transformative power. It can be a catalyst for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and revolutionizing women's health. But this is not an inevitable future. It is a choice. We can choose a path of convenient innovation that serves the easy to reach. Or we can choose the harder, more necessary path of just innovation. A path where we actively dismantle barriers, embed ethics into our code, and place the autonomy and dignity of every woman at the very center of our designs. The goal is not just to connect women to a screen. The goal is to connect them to their right to health, to agency, and to a future where no one is left behind in the digital health revolution. I hope you enjoyed the video. Would appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe to the channel so we can reach more listeners like yourself. Until next time, stay informed, stay healthy, and continue exploring the world of healthcare with us. I remain your host, Sunday Clement. Thanks for listening.